body shape from top to bottom. So I've gone from having 3 double chins to having 1 chin, which is really good. I have been every body shape you can imagine, from the column through to the inverted triangle through to the hourglass. I've been the apple and I've been the pear, so all the body shapes you can imagine. And it's a little known fact that our legs also have their own body shape. So I thought tonight I'll educate you guys about what to look out for and some tips and tricks on how you can create the perfect leg shape. Anyway, hi Abby, nice to see you. Oh, you said hi to beautiful Mon and Mr. Pete. You are so kind, Abby. Matty, good to see you. You got to stick around because you've had such a dramatic transformation with your body. Tonight I'm going to show you the perfect shoes, and when I see you next, you're going to be trying all these babies on. So first of all, I want to show you something that we call leg shape. So you're probably familiar with all the body shapes, but let's talk through what the leg shapes are all about. So what I want you guys to have a think about is which leg might be your leg. Now, I'm not talking about the size. So right now, if you're a little bigger than you would prefer to be, or a little smaller than your muscles would prefer you to be, it doesn't matter. Most importantly, check out the actual shape. Remember too that the shape of your leg can change if you're increasing the muscle on the back of your calves. It can also increase at change slightly at different times of the month. So I know a lot of women, particularly when they hit midlife like me, may hold a little more fluid around the ankle. So let's talk about them first of all. The sweet potato. Now there on the left is the gorgeous Helen Mirren. She has what we call the sweet potato leg. So you have a fuller calf and slightly thicker ankles. Now, if you've ever heard the term cankles, we're going to get rid of that immediately. I hate the term. I think if you've got thicker ankles, it's because your body decided you want a little more muscle and support around the ankles to support your beautiful feet. So the next shape is the Kim Kardashian leg shape. It's called the aubergine. So chances are you might work out a little bit. You have probably a slightly more muscular calf, and the lower part of your leg, so around the ankle, is more defined. So you might have thinner ankles there. The parsnip. Now, strangely enough, this is my leg shape, even though my legs are a little bigger there than that gorgeous creature in the middle. Oh, I've forgotten her name, Katie Holmes, that's her name. So you've got a slimmer ankle and you might have a slightly fuller calf. So that's what we call the parsnip. And if you think about the shapes of these ingredients that I'm talking about, it will give you a visual idea of what to look for. The carrot leg is for those people who have a very slim leg or just very little shape through the calves. So there we've got Cameron Diaz, and you'll notice that there's not a lot of difference between her ankle size and her knee size. So it's a very slim, straight down leg. And then finally, gorgeous Beyonce, she has a much fuller lower leg, and that's what we call the marrow. So the best thing I can recommend you do is put a mirror or the marrow. So I'm going to break those down a little bit more for you guys as well to talk a little bit more technical. By the way, at any stage, if you want to have a look at all the details from the slides you see in tonight's show, they're actually all available on my website. So when you head to my website, moniquebradley.tv, right on the front page, if you scroll halfway down the front page, you'll see there's an article with a gorgeous picture of shoes, all the different types of shoes that are available. That's the article that has all of the screens from tonight's show and a little bit of the content that I'm talking about tonight. So when it comes to shoe shopping, I look for 2 particular things when I go shoe shopping. So I was brought up in a household where, you know, when I was a little kid, we didn't have a lot of money. So my mum was quite a smart and very savvy shopper. So what she taught me is you're looking for one of 2 things. You either want, there's my website details, by the way. Thanks for putting that on the screen, Pete. Pete's my producer and director, so I'm very grateful to have him doing these wonderful things for me. So my mum taught me 2 things. You either want to look for a shoe, which is going to be maybe a lower priced one if you're shopping on a budget. You might want to look for a lower priced item, but it's probably going to be a seasonal item. So you want it to be ideally comfortable, but you know it's probably not going to be with you for a long time. So in particular, the key things that change from season to season or from year to year are the toe shape and the heel shape. However, if you find the perfect shoe, which always makes your legs look fabulous. It doesn't matter what the season is doing. It doesn't matter what the trend is doing. You get a good quality version of that shoe. You pay a little bit more money for it. Potentially it'll be made from leather or a really, really good quality product like that. and you want to hold on to it for years. The best example is I spent a lot of money buying different shoes. So a lot of these are my seasonal shoes that you're seeing. So they're lower priced options, but I know they're going to change from season to season. When it comes to cowboy boots, as an example, I've had the same pair of cowboy boots for 10 years. They're an exceptional quality of leather, and I've had them resold twice, and they suit my legs perfectly. So if you find the perfect pair of shoes, I would advise you, it's always in your best interest to spend a little bit more money on a better quality shoe if it's going to last you for a long time. If you want a fun pair of party shoes that you'll probably only wear for a year because you know in a year's time the toe's going to change, the heel's going to change, or you just want them for a special occasion or a one-off occasion, spend a lower amount of money but get something at least that's really, really comfortable. And that's what I'm going to talk you guys through tonight. I've got examples of the same shoes in different colors to show you, and examples of $300 or $400 pairs of shoes right down to $19 pairs of shoes, which are all here in my shoe rack. When it comes to the right leg shape and choosing what shoes are right for you, you have to think too about what your lifestyle's like. So if you're on your feet all day, you probably don't want to wear super, super high heels like some of the ones I'm about to show you. And if you're not on your feet all day, but you want to look longer and more fabulous when you do eventually stand up, you might go for what I would call a talk show shoe. So they're not the sorts of things you're going to wear when you go out on a shopping expedition. Perhaps something like this, which has a beautiful tall heel, looks fabulous, really good for a red carpet event. I would wear this with a beautiful long dress. I want to create a long illusion, and I would probably wear this maybe with an open slit to the thigh. This will elongate my leg and help me look more fabulous. This is a really classic Art Deco style shoe. The one challenge for most people, however, is the fact that this has an ankle strap. Ankle straps are really great if you want, particularly if you're wearing a taller shoe, if you want to feel a bit more secure, like you're not going to fall out of them. However, if your ankles are a little thicker or you're a bit self-conscious about your ankles, that ankle strap is actually going to cut through into your ankle and make your ankles and your legs look a little wider than they should be. So if you do have a problem with your ankles, or if they are a little longer, I would always recommend to go with a really neutral shoe, and particularly a skin colored one is your best friend. And for those of you who want to make your legs look longer, but you don't want maybe your legs to look as wide, you go for something like this with a nice, decent, this is actually a really comfortable heel. It looks taller than it is, but I would recommend for you guys to go for a pointy toe. So I've gone for a round toe because this suits my leg shape and my needs, and I have quite plump toes. So I don't want to go too pointy, otherwise my toes will feel quite squashed. So it's really about finding the right look for your feet and for your legs, and also finding that balance between the right look and the level of comfort that you're after. So when it comes to your particular leg type, what's the best shoe for you? We're going to talk you through some ideas right now. I've got some screens prepared. If you want to write down the details, you can, or if you're on your phone, screenshot each screen as we go through. Or remember too, all of these screens are already loaded into my website, moniquebradley.tv. And one of the things I'd highly recommend is when you're on my website, make sure you sign up to my mailing list. I'll send you some of my favorite recipes, but at the same time, when I release new content like this, maybe on fashion, beauty, makeup, or just how to make your life more fabulous, you'll get sent that content straight to your inbox every week. All right, let's take a look at the types of legs and the shoes that they suit. We'll go through these one at a time so I can give you in real life working examples of the shoes that might work for you. So first of all, if you are a little shorter, but you have beautiful slim legs, so I'm thinking of someone maybe like Kim Kardashian. What you want to do is you want to really do what Kim does. So take a leaf out of her book. You want to make your legs appear taller and longer. So you may want to increase the fullness of the leg as well. I highly recommend, because they're super comfortable, to consider working with a platform or a wedge shoe, as they'll give you the level of comfort that you want and they won't put a lot of pressure on your legs at the same time. I think they're absolutely fabulous. Again, you want to avoid the heels that have ankle straps, because they'll actually cut through the illusion of a long leg and will make your legs look shorter. And if you are maybe 5 foot or around that height, if you're going to go for a ballerina flat, please make sure that the hemline of your dress is wider, that works really well, and that skirt level falls just above the knee, as that will make your leg look longer. So when it comes to wedges, my absolute favorite wedge is this beautiful pair of shoes that I adore. These are my my cougar shoes. I like to call them, or my leopard print shoes. These have actually got what I call the perfect running heel. So it's a wedge shoe and it's super, super comfortable. It's not too high. And if you're wanting something with a little bit of personality, you really can't go wrong when it comes to a leopard print. Leopard print is always in season. Any sort of animal print is really big, as is florals this season, and stripes are always super popular as well. So I absolutely love this shoe, really, really comfortable. When it comes to a wedge like this, the thing I would highly recommend is that you look for something that has a bit of padding under the toe, because you will be pushed up onto your toe for a long period of time, and particularly if you're going to be walking around in them all day, you want something that's going to give you a little bit of a cushion underneath your toe for two reasons. Not only do you want that to be comfortable when you walk, because you're elevated up onto your toe, it can also put a bit of pressure onto your lower back. So you want to be comfy under the ball of your feet. And if the shoes don't have a lot of comfort under there, I'd always suggest that you get those rubberized toe pads that go in under. They're called party feet, and they go in under the ball of your foot and inside the shoe. It makes things a whole lot more comfortable. So that's a really classic wedge. Now, for those of you who've got slightly longer legs, you can actually get a classic wedge with an open toe, and it will really look fabulous on you. It's a little bit vintage looking when you get the open toe shoe as well. Slingbacks also work extremely well, so they're like this sort of wedge, but of course they're cut through the middle, and they normally have an adjustable strap at the back there too. Super, super comfy. One of my absolute favorites. Those are what I call shopping heels. So if you find a pair of heels that's comfortable enough to go shopping in, you are sweet. Okay, when it comes to other types of platform heels, shoes like this. So if we're going for a classic platform, this is what I wear to an event. These are my Hollywood shoes, super sparkly, really comfortable. I've worn them for a million years, and you'll notice there's a platform base on them, which is fantastic. There's a decent sized heel, and for girls who are a little bit curvier like myself, you want to go with something with a slightly bigger platform on the bottom. Just to show you, one of the shoes that actually works in the platform line for pretty much every leg type is actually what we call a pageant shoe. So for all my pageant girls who are watching tonight, shout out to all the girls from Miss Asia Pacific. This is the official pageant shoe for Miss Asia Pacific International. Now you notice it's a neutral color. Neutral color was chosen because it's suitable for pretty much every leg type. They wanted a bit of business, so they added the straps in. So these were actually personally customized for that pageant. But at the same time, if you have a look here, so we've got those big platforms there. Now what's really lovely about these shoes, and I'll show you the heel there too, they are super, super high, but because the area underneath where your toes are is really high as well, you don't really feel like you're wearing a high heel. They're very, very light, and these pageant girls are on their feet for hours when they're training. So the shoes need to be comfortable, they need to be fit, they need to fit well, they need to have a bit of movement, they need to give your legs extra length as well, but at the same time, gosh, I can run in these heels. That's how great they are. What's really unusual about these heels too is while they have an ankle strap in there, this is quite amazing. They aren't, these are just clipped through. And a lot of shoes that come in, so these came over from the Philippines, a lot of shoes like that, because you want to get in and out of them really fast, particularly if you're changing outfits, that makes it super easy to change your pants, your trousers, or change dresses really, really fast. So really good for shows as well. I'd highly recommend them if you're a performer. You want to grab a shoe like that. These sorts of shoes you can probably buy online. I know there's different pageant shoe sites that you can go to. So that will help you if you want to make your legs look a little longer. For me, I also have wedge shoes like this, which I love as well. They're not the most comfortable, but I call these my shoes of awesome tallness. So I have to move away from, there you go, you can see them a little better against the white wall. So these are massive, these are almost rockabilly platforms, and these are a very vintage style. These would have cost probably $99 retail. So yeah, it's still under the $100 mark. And I absolutely love them. So classic shoes. However, not all of you who want to elongate the leg, not all of you are going to want to go for a platform. So if that sounds like you, you may want to go for something more delicate like this. These are also great, very, very comfortable. These are from Mi Piace. I think the retail was around $279. Fantastic, super great. These are close to a very neutral color as well, while being perfect for a night out. I've worn these with jeans. I've worn them with an evening gown to Miss New Zealand, actually, Miss Universe New Zealand. Really fantastic pair of heels. The one thing, again, I would recommend is if you are going to be up on your toes for a long period of time, because these do have a bit of a heel on them, you want to make sure that there's comfortable padding in underneath the ball of your foot, or you want to put the party feet in there underneath to make sure you've got some support under your toes there. So there you go. That's the sort of stuff that Kim Kardashian would wear. She has got a beautiful slender leg, but it's a shorter leg, and that's how she creates that illusion of a gorgeous, long, fabulous leg. So let's take a look at the next leg type and some tips and tricks from me. So if you're a little shorter, so we're talking around the 5 foot, 5'2", 5'3" kind of height, you're shorter and your legs are slightly thicker. Your legs may appear very short purely because of the thickness. So we're talking about illusion here. You want to aim for the illusion of length instead. Open-toed shoes or peep-toe shoes are absolutely your friends, and you do want to go for a solid heel, as that's going to actually flatter your legs the best. You want to get shoes that show a lot of skin or wear nude colors or brown-based colors to elongate your leg. Absolutely a must-have. You want to avoid mid-calf boots or flat boots, wedges and chunky heels, as they can make your legs look thicker. So what you want to do ideally is have something that either goes all the way up or is just around the foot, because you don't want to cut your leg in half and make it look stockier than it really is. So for me, nude shoes, always a winner. Whether you're going to go for something that has a bit of a platform like this one, or you might want to go for a classic nude shoe like this, highly recommend. In fact, every body shape and every leg shape should always go for a nude shoe. I highly, highly recommend it. I absolutely love them. Again, for somebody, whoopsie, for somebody like you who might have a shorter, slightly thicker leg, you could go for something like this, but I would probably look for a version which is cut slightly lower. I think that's really important as well. You actually want to open up a little bit of that leg space as well, or that foot space, and really create that illusion of length. As an example, you know when somebody is wearing an outfit like this, but if I had put on a beautiful long pendant necklace, it draws the eye down and creates that illusion of length. You can do the very same with your legs. So as an example, with a pair of shoes like this, I can instantly make my legs look longer when I pop this shoe on, particularly if I'm wearing a shorter dress, because this will look like an elongated part of my leg. So it is really about creating that illusion and drawing the eye line down. And I'm going to show you an example of that very soon. Okay, let's talk about the next leg type. Is this you? So if you've got lovely long and slender legs, you are super, super lucky. You can wear a whole lot more choices. However, chances are you're probably a little self-conscious of your legs as well. If you have really thin ankles, you can wear ankle boots or mid-calf boots. So that's an absolute must. If you don't have long and slender legs, I'd highly recommend that you wear ankle boots or mid-calf boots with a matching pair of tights to go with it. And that will create a beautiful illusion of that long leg again. The ankle boots or the mid-calf boots will actually hide your ankles a little bit. So if you're a bit self-conscious of them, particularly say if you're like the carrot style leg and you're really a little bit self-conscious of them, it will still expose the rest of your leg, but give you just a little bit of anonymity without drawing too much attention to them. I do recommend that you shouldn't necessarily wear pointy shoes, as they can elongate your feet a little bit too much. And in fact, Paris Hilton is one who wears a lot of pointy shoes, but that's actually to cover the fact that her feet are size 11, I learned today from one of my friends on Instagram. The other thing I'd also suggest is don't wear a chunky heel, as it can actually overwhelm your ankles. So for those of you who do have lovely long slender legs, boy, have I got a deal for you. This is pretty amazing. Now, I actually got given these shoes. I love them. They're not ideal for me. I can only actually wear them underneath a pair of skinny leg pants like I'm wearing today. Now, these are amazing. Again, I'm going to move to the side so you can see them. There's a lot of business going on here. So these are kind of a suede kind of feel. This is the sort of thing that Kim Kardashian would wear, but ideally she shouldn't, because it will actually make her look a little too short and a little too chunky through the legs. And considering she's tiny, we don't want her to create that illusion. These are really good for those of you, however, who do want to maybe support the ankle as well, create a little bit of drama. You're the sort of person who can still get away with a shorter skirt, maybe a shorter fitted skirt. However, my biggest recommendation to you, particularly if you're in midlife like I am, I'm 45 years old, if you are going to go for a shoe like this, which is going to create a lot of drama, people are going to be looking down at your feet, please get a pedicure. That's number one. Number two, you need to take care of the skin around your knees. So in particular, aside from our faces and our necks and our hands, our knees also show the signs of aging. So it's really super important that you really moisturize, or even consider using a skin firming product around the knee area. I would also recommend that once a week you actually exfoliate the skin on your legs. And I'd also highly recommend, if your legs are your feature, that you do look at some sort of bronzer or a self-tanning product, just to give yourself a little bit of a glow. I don't want you to change your skin color, but I do want you to look really glorious and luminous, particularly if you're going to be out and photographed. So a good pair of shoes like that is fantastic. You don't want to go for something too chunky, as I said, because it can overwhelm your beautiful, delicate legs. But you can go for something a little bit, so let's think of Meghan Markle. This is a classic shoe that Meghan Markle would wear all the time, and she can actually get away with it beautifully. This is actually a slightly lower heeled version of a shoe that she wears all the time. It's a really classic style shoe with a slightly pointier toe, but not posh spice kind of pointy. It's sort of a rounded point. You can get away with this, but you can even go for a stiletto as well. So something that would really work well for you. But remember too, when it comes to stilettos, you are going to be up on your toes. So comfort is absolutely important. Right, just saw a question come in. Aileen, hi to you. Always want longer legs. Oh, because you're 5'1", so you're always looking for the longest. Absolutely. Well, look, for you, because I know you and I know what your beautiful legs look like, I'd highly recommend go for something like a really comfortable platform shoe. Something like this, a classic wedge would be really great. But for you, I'd even look for a wedge that has a little bit of support under the toe. So a slightly more platform wedge. I wouldn't recommend you go anything this high. But yeah, I think this could work really well for you. I just need to make sure I've got them up right for you guys. And hi Fiona Jamie, who's watching, or Fiona Malcolm, sorry. You've got a pair of these shoes as well, yay! Cute. I could see the name Fiona, and I know a Fiona Jamie as well, so pardon me. Just finally, for those of you who have slender legs, these sorts of boots can be really popular for you as well. So again, whether you're going for a winter boot or you're going for a peep toe boot like this, oh, so many things in black, let me move out of the way. Really classic. If you're going for a really comfy boot, however, always make sure you're gonna go for a really nice leather, because that will last you a lot longer, particularly if it's the perfect boot for your legs. And at the same time, if you're going to go for something like this was a seasonal purchase that I got last year. I paid about $40 for them, I think, at number one Shoe Warehouse, which is really good if you just want a seasonal shoe. However, because that base of that shoe is quite thin, you want to make sure you get some sort of support in there underneath, because standing up in these all day, seriously, sore back, sore feet, don't do it to yourself. Comfort first and always. All right, peep toe shoes like that are also fantastic for those of you goddesses who have slightly wider toes like I do. I've got very curvaceous toes and they need a little bit of room to move. So consider a peep toe if you love dressing up. I've got some fun peep toes as well, like my rockabilly heels over here with polka dots. I wear them when I'm dressed up in a tiger print dress and a red cardigan, really cool. Do think about having a really fun pair of shoes because, you know, at some stage during our lives, we all do dress up. And I know for a fact that you'll regret that day when you're getting dressed up in a 50s or 60s outfit and you don't have the perfect shoes and you have to borrow someone else's and it's super uncomfortable. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, let's look at the next leg type. Right, finally, for those of you who have really thick athletic legs, first of all, a credit to you for doing all of that hard work. You're amazing. Again, the aim is to elongate your legs, and that will actually make them appear not just more feminine, but it will make them look a little thinner as well. If you wear open-toed shoes and stilettos, your legs will appear leaner. So for those of you who are super sporty and you've got those really strong, powerful calves, this is the tip for you. Super high heels are amazing for you that are a little pointy as they will elongate your feet, making your legs look and appear longer and leaner. We love that. Chunky wedge sandals are your friend. They're fantastic and they will add a good couple of inches to your heel. But again, if you're going to go for a chunky wedge, go for a platform wedge as well because that will give you that extra length and it will be more comfortable. You won't spend all your time on your heels. And particularly if your legs are athletic, you've spent a lot of time in flat running shoes, so your muscles won't necessarily be as developed and strong for you to be up on your toes all the time. I want you to avoid rounded pumps, which are the pumps I'm wearing tonight, and small squared heels because they actually add weight. They're too chunky for you. So you want to go the opposite and add a little more height and delicateness to your shoe type. So you guys are so lucky. Again, you can go for something like this, my Mi Piace shoes. You can go for something with a really lovely heel. You can go for something that's a little flatter. You don't necessarily need to go for that really thick platform shoe. You want to go for length. You want to go for something like this as well. However, if you find your legs are a little thicker, don't want to go too high because that's going to cut your legs in half and it's actually going to make them look a little stockier. You want to avoid the rounded toe shoes like I'm wearing tonight, which are down on my feet. Very similar, in fact, identical to the neutral shoe that I've got here in my hands. You definitely want to go for a pointed toe. If you don't, so there's my nice rounded toe shoes, which are my comfy walking shoes. You do want to opt for something with a pointier toe. I love these shoes as well. I got these from H&M, as you can see. I've had them for a couple of years now. Fabulous. This is more of a kitten heel. I would highly recommend for you, if your legs are a little more athletic, go for a higher heel, but go only as high as you're comfortable in. Because remember too, if you haven't spent a lot of time up on your toes like I have, then your legs won't be comfortable. You might end up with the cramp, and we don't want you to do that at all. So those are different tips when it comes to what you should be wearing. Again, all of the details of these screens is already in my website, moniquebradley.tv. And just as an example, when you find the right shoe, it will absolutely elongate the way that your leg looks. So even while I'm wearing black trousers tonight, so I've got black skinny shoes, there's my website details, by the way. Head there. Join my mailing list, sign up. You'll get all sorts of amazing inspiration sent to your inbox every week. So the difference here, if I was wearing a skirt, I would always opt for this shoe right here. It's a comfortable neutral shoe. It's the perfect heel height for my leg shape. And most importantly, even with the black trousers on, can you see how that color kind of blends into my foot? So it creates an illusion of length, even with black pants on. The black shoes tend to cut my leg a little bit, so they can make my feet look a little, oh, I have to go the right way. They can make my feet look a little chunkier. So when you find, I have to move the right way. There we go. When you find the right pair of shoes, try them in both the black, because most people buy black shoes, and then opt for a neutral beige. Try on a neutral and see how that works for you. A neutral shoe will work with just about every outfit, whether you're at work, whether you're dressing up, dressing down, whatever you're doing. It's just a perfect type of shoe to have in your wardrobe, and it's something that I would highly recommend everybody do. In saying that, I love black shoes, hence I have a number of them in my wardrobe for practicality's sake. So there you go. Again, if it comes to a ballet flat, it doesn't matter whether you're tall or short. When you're working with a ballet flat, if you're going to wear pants, always opt for a rolled up cuff. It will make your legs look better, true story. And if you're wearing ballet flats and you're going for a skirt, always pull that hemline just above the knee and your legs will look longer and more fabulous. There we go. I'm just making sure I haven't missed anybody. No, I think I've got everybody tonight. So there you go. When it comes to even my running shoes, well, they're sort of more walking and shopping shoes, have a heel in them. So I do everything I can to try and elongate my legs through to platform fun shoes like these shoes that I wear all the time. It really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your style is. It's actually about finding that perfect shoe that creates the right illusion. So keep in mind when you're shoe shopping next, think long and down and always question, how is this shoe going to work with my wardrobe? Is it going to be a long-term or short-term shoe? So am I just going to have it for a season or am I going to have it for a lifetime? So that will determine which price point you want to choose. And finally, the other thing you want to consider is, where am I going to wear it? So how practical is it? Is it going to be comfortable? Is there enough room for my toes to spread and be okay? Will I get the cramp in this shoe? Do I need the support around my ankle or under my toes? And will it create that beautiful illusion that I'm after? If you can answer all those questions, then you may have just found the perfect shoe. Remember too, if you want to find out more details about this and all of my shopping recommendations, you can head to my website, moniquebradley.tv, and you can find out which shoe might be perfect for you. And if you've got any questions, make sure you send me an email or you can send me a message through the Facebook page you're watching this live stream on. I'm more than happy to help. Oh my goodness, when it comes to being every body shape under the sun, really that's my area of expertise. I'm not a stylist, but I've had to learn to basically redress my body in the various stages of my weight loss journey, having lost 40 kilos in weight. I've been every body shape you can imagine. I've had every leg shape you can imagine. And now I want to share that information with you guys. Right, time for me to head away. Thanks so much for being part of tonight's broadcast. And if I can help, send me a message. You know what to do. Make sure you head to my website, moniquebradley.tv, sign up for my mailing list. I'd love you to join me. All right, a big thank you to you guys for watching and to Pete, my producer and director. He's the online guy that makes this all happen. Time to go. Ka kite anō, inohora, and stay fabulous. Bye. You to join me. All right, a big thank you to you guys for watching and to Pete, my producer and director. He's the online guy that makes this all happen. Time to go. Ka kite anō, inohora, and stay fabulous. Bye. You to join me. All right, a big thank you to you guys for watching and to Pete, my producer and director. He's the online guy that makes this all happen. Time to go. Ka kite anō, inohora, and stay fabulous. Bye. You to join me. All right. You to join me. All right, a big thank you to you guys for watching and to Pete, my producer and director. He's the online guy that makes this all happen. Time to go. Ka kite anō, inohora, and stay fabulous. Bye. You to join me. All right.